Seinfeld Explained, Season 7, Episode 6, The Soup Nazi. Jerry introduces friends to a soup stand run by a temperamental vendor with strict ordering protocols. Any rule violation results in instant banishment, and the signature phrase, "No soup for you." George's inability to let minor injustice slide gets him banned immediately after questioning the free bread policy despite explicit warnings. Elaine refuses to take the tyranny seriously, and Jerry chooses soup over relationship solidarity, revealing how easily a community tolerates arbitrary dictatorship when the product justifies the abuse, until Elaine accidentally discovers the vendor's secret recipes and destroys his business out of spite.
Jerry's taking George and Elaine to this amazing soup stand, but there's one catch. The vendor has extremely strict ordering protocols, and any violation gets you banned instantly.
They're warning each other about soup?
Jerry's very explicit. Move to the right, have money ready, speak clearly, no questions. The guy's called the soup Nazi because he'll refuse service for anything.
And George, who cannot let anything go ever, immediately asks why he didn't get free bread when everyone else did.
Despite being warned seconds earlier, the vendor charges him $2. George protests, gets charged $3, says, "What?"
No soup for you.
Banned on the spot. His compulsion to question minor unfairness completely overrode every survival instinct.
One question about bread.
And Elaine's completely confident after watching this, mocks the whole situation, walks up trying casual conversation, then does a full Al Pacino impression.
The scent of a woman thing?
Complete with hooah. The vendor says, very good, and you think maybe charm worked, then delivers, no soup for you, come back, 1 year.
A year-long ban for an impression?
But what gets me is Jerry's with his girlfriend Sheila doing baby talk in line, right? They're calling each other schmoopy. The vendor bans Sheila for kissing, and Jerry just stays, pretends not to know her.
She walks out expecting him to follow, comes back confused, asking, Jerry? And he says, do I know you?
He will literally abandon his girlfriend mid-confrontation rather than give up his soup order. This soup is so good, people accept comprehensive abuse.
George admitted earlier he canceled movie plans because their baby talk was unbearable.
He brings up the pact they made about not being affectionate. Jerry says he just shook George's hand as a polite gesture, and George triumphantly yells, "Aha!" like it's a legally binding contract.
The handshake as formal anti-affection treaty.
But then Jerry gets back together with Sheila specifically to spite George, doubles down on the schmoopy behavior to make him uncomfortable at every opportunity.
And George retaliates by becoming aggressively affectionate with Susan. He's calling her sweetie, tweety, weedy, weedy, while clearly hating every second, his competitive nature forcing him to perform behavior he finds disgusting.
Meanwhile, Elaine buys this antique armoire on the street, but can't move it into her building on Sunday, so Kramer volunteers to guard it overnight.
That sounds like it's going wrong immediately.
These guys steal it while Kramer's trying to stop them, and the vendor gives him a replacement one from his basement for free because Kramer's the only customer who actually respects him.
Reverence gets rewarded.
Elaine goes to thank him, and he tells her if he'd known it was for her, he would have smashed it with a hatchet, which is when she discovers his secret recipes tucked inside the armoire.
The furniture becomes accidental evidence?
Cosmic justice through antiques. And Jerry tries to physically block her from using them because he happens to love that soup. He's pleading, let the man make his soup.
He's defending the tyrant who terrorizes everyone because the product is that good.
Elaine confronts the vendor publicly, reading his recipes aloud in front of waiting customers. Jambalaya, mulligatawny, all his secrets exposed.
And then?
She delivers the perfect revenge line. No more soup for you. Next. Using his own catchphrase against him.
The symmetry.
He immediately announces he's closing down and moving to Argentina. Newman frantically delivers this tragic news, then mid-sentence asks, "Where are you going?" because he needs to run home to get a big pot before the final giveaway.
Even his announcement gets interrupted by soup logistics.
The community loses their tyrant not through organized rebellion, but through one person's accidental discovery and spite-driven revenge. Elaine was already banned for a year, so she had nothing left to lose.
What happens with the schmoopy warfare?
Jerry breaks up with Sheila again, citing lack of mental connection, then tells George and Susan that affection isn't enough without intellectual compatibility, implying their public displays might be hollow compensation.
The compliment as devastating analysis.
Jerry weaponizes relationship theory to suggest that winning the affection competition proves nothing about substance.
The whole episode is about tolerating tyranny for rewards that might not be worth it. Jerry betrays his girlfriend for soup. George performs baby talk he hates to win a competition.
And the community accepts arbitrary abuse because the bisque is perfect. Until one person with nothing to lose brings down the whole system.
George couldn't resist questioning the bread policy for 5 seconds. But Jerry will pretend not to know his girlfriend to preserve soup access. Those are the priorities.
What people will endure versus what they won't.
And Kramer alone respects the vendor as suffering for his art. Gets special treatment, free furniture, philosophical understanding, while everyone else just wants to eat without getting yelled at.
The only customer who sees genius instead of tyranny gets rewarded. But his gift becomes the vessel of destruction.
A soup vendor's arbitrary rules reveal how communities accept tyranny when the product justifies abuse. Until spite from someone with nothing to lose destroys what self-interest protected. No soup for you enters the lexicon as shorthand for petty exclusion. George's bread questioning proves some people cannot leave injustice alone, regardless of consequences. And Jerry's girlfriend abandonment for bisque confirms his food over relationships hierarchy. The schmoopy warfare establishes performative affection as competitive sport that reveals relationship hollowness when examined.